Hello YouTube, I am Soft Spoken Man, and welcome to Inside ASMR, and what I hope will be a very long series of videos and interviews with some of your favorite YouTube ASMR, whisper, and soft-spoken creators. The intention is to show you as the listener what goes on behind the scenes of some of your favorite videos and artists, to share with you their inspirations, their creative process, and most importantly, their story. The idea of the ASMR interview came as I was watching James Lipton conduct interviews on his famous program Inside the Actor's Studio. This was during a period in which I was taking a brief hiatus from my own video making and seeking new inspiration. Truthfully, I had become slightly disenchanted and wondered what my role in the ever-growing ASMR community would be. It seemed like all other creators had an uncanny ability for delivering original and creative works, whereas I struggled with the very concept and subject of each video. Suddenly, while watching James Lipton, it came to me. I had always enjoyed creating videos in which I reviewed other whisperers and videos and made suggestions for my viewers regarding those who I believed were very talented, but it always seemed one-dimensional. Because of the nature of video blogs, there was a disconnect. I was talking about artists who in many ways did not have the ability to jointly respond or to share their own valuable thoughts and stories until today. Though I continue to create videos which are very separate from Inside the ASMR series of videos, I am so passionate and excited about this new project because this is a chance for you as the listener to really not just listen to their words, but to learn about them as human beings. I thought it would be so absolutely incredible to learn what really goes on behind the camera before and after the finished product. The preparation, the research, the blunders and bloopers, and how they react to negativity and comments, their disappointments, and in the end, what they really feel are their greatest achievements thus far. I found it most interesting to learn about their perceptions and what they believe their personal impact toward the ASMR community as a whole truly is. Thoughts which I believe you will find to be surprising, astonishing, curious, eye-opening, but most of all, enlightening and real. My first guest is a soft-spoken whisperer who to date has created 7 different videos which have quickly gone viral and have gained him in one short month nearly 1,500 channel subscribers, a number which shows absolutely no signs of slowing down. His deep baritone gravelly voice is countered by an extraordinary ability to pace his slow delivery and leaves his listeners hanging on every single word. His trademark beard and wizened appearance sets him apart from the vast majority of fellow male video creators. His fans adoringly call him the Wizard, Dumbledore, the Trucker, ZZ Top, and one fan even went so far as to liken his appearance to Jesus. But don't be fooled. These things might seem like gimmicks by description alone, but are quickly dispelled by the limitless talent of his greatest skill, the ability to tell the most compelling story. Through the command of his rich voice alone, his videos capture your attention and take his listeners on the most vivid journey into relaxation. ASMR, whisper, and soft-spoken listeners, we start our very first interview with a bang. It is my pleasure to bring to you our first guest, Bill MaxVoxPax, and Inside ASMR. Bill, first I want to thank you so much for joining us today and being our first guest on this brand new program.
Hi, well, thanks for having me. It's an honor to be your first guest. And I have to say, when I first saw the video where you proposed this concept, I was pretty excited. I think it's a fantastic idea for both viewers and artists alike.
So let's jump right into it, shall we? Bill, can you tell us a bit about your motivation for getting involved in the ASMR community and why you decided to create your first video? What was the key moment that really motivated you?
You know, there wasn't a key moment that got me to make a video. It was sort of a culmination. I had been listening to the ASMR whispering videos for a while and enjoying them. And I've always been involved in creative projects, art, writing, music, not everything having a public presence, and I've also had people my entire adult life say that I had a pleasant voice. So putting it all together, it kind of seemed like I should make a videos to, yeah, dude, make a video. So it just sort of came to be that way.
Why did you begin listening to ASMR whisper or soft-spoken videos? What was the story of you originally as just the listener?
You know, I began listening to videos, I think, the same as anybody else. Relaxation, tingles, it's the tingles, man. But how I came to find the community is, due to technological failure. I had a DVD player that died, and I went to purchase another one, and the new one came internet ready, Netflix, etc. But among the preloaded things was YouTube, and I had never really watched YouTube before, but I began to searching for odds and ends, and I had accidentally come upon a video of a young woman, I don't remember precisely who, doing sort of a blog kind of a thing, talking about mundane daily things and whispering. And I thought, that's interesting. I found it pretty compelling. At first I was, if people saw this 40-something guy watching a 20-something girl talk about her daily routine, it might seem creepy. But it was compelling, and the YouTube interface on my box is not very robust. You sort of watch a video, it shows you related videos, and there's no comments or anything like that. So it was pretty hit and miss in finding these videos, and I had assumed they were sort of one-off, people speaking quietly because they didn't want to disturb their roommate late at night or something. And after coming across a few of these, oddly enough, they were all young women, seemingly in dorm rooms or something. One of them had referred to the video as a whisper video, and so I thought, type that into the search and see what happens, and then, wow, it sort of opened a floodgate, and I found, gentle whispering, and whisper crystal, and whispering blues, and, I guess you can guess how it progresses from there.
So, how do you decide the subject of each of your videos? Where do you find your inspiration?
Subject matter is kind of an odd deal. I get ideas sort of, somewhat out of the blue sometimes. Audience requests are a big deal. That's how when I did The Raven, that was due to a request. some of them develop into something I decide to commit to video, and some do not.
So, what do you think of the reception you've gotten so far? I mean, in one short month, you've had over 1,500 subs on your channel. I'm not aware of anyone else who's had that type of popularity that fast. Why do you think that you've gained so much attention so quickly? Why do you think there's been such a large connection?
The reception I've gotten so far has been pretty positive, which I'm, happy for. It's, good for my self-esteem, etc. As far as the quickness of it, I'm not sure how to compare that to anybody else. I think getting some exposure from people's comments and people like yourself actually mentioning me in their own videos, and I got a favorable comment from Maria, which I'm sure helped a great deal. I mean, she's a superstar, so I'm pretty sure that her saying a nice thing about me led to a lot of viewers. So thanks, Maria. The source or the cause of the connection, I think, is just a combination of simple things. I think I have a pleasant timbre of voice. I don't know what the audio equivalent of photogenic is, but I have a pretty low resonant voice that also records pretty well. I think the beard helps. It's, gives people something to latch on to as far as remembering who I am. I don't know, it's so far so good, right? I'll take the good,
So, what do the positive comments and reaction to your work really mean to you?
The positive comments mean a lot to me. I mean, they really do. A lot more than I initially would have predicted. I try to get on reasonably frequently to see what people are saying, partially out of curiosity and partially, I don't know, I think it's a good thing to just respond, but I've had a pretty overwhelmingly positive response so far, and it feels good, so those of you who do make the positive comments, thank you. It does mean a lot to me.
Have you seen any negative reaction or comments? How do those make you feel? Does anything stand out to you or take you by surprise?
Negative comments. I haven't really gotten that many. And the ones that I have received, I don't believe are negative in the you suck kind of fashion. They genuinely seem to be constructive criticism. Things that I could improve to make the videos better. So I have gotten some thumbs down, dislike things, but nothing terribly explicitly negative. So, that's fine. I prefer the happy, pleasant comments. But truth is, everybody's entitled to their opinion. So, anyway, thanks again, everybody, for all your comments.
So, what would be the most downright bizarre or weird message or comment that someone has left you?
I've had a couple of bizarre comments. Somebody asked how I could eat a Big Mac with my beard. Why Big Mac specifically, but the truth is, eating with a beard is kind of the same as eating without a beard. If stuff dribbles down, it's either on your chin or on a hair
Bill, some of your fans have given you some nicknames. Do you like them? How do you feel about them?
I do like them. I think they've all been, you know, in terms of endearment, people being playful and, I'm a pretty easygoing guy. You could call me whatever you care to. It is fine with me, but overall it just seems like people being friendly, so it's cool.
Were you nervous when you first began? Were you worried about how you might be received? Can you talk a little bit about that?
For the first video I was nervous. It was funny, I was worried about how I would be received, and I did a few takes of the first one, and the nervousness, I think, kind of came through, which is, counter to the effort, right? And then I thought, and it came to mind that the worst case scenario is that I would post a video, people would dislike it and say, go away, you suck. I would stop making videos and take down the channel. Wow, no great damage done. Street cleaner going by, sorry about that. But the truth is, the worst case scenario didn't happen. More the opposite. I made a video, people liked it, they encouraged me to make more, and so it goes.
So, Bill, tell the listeners a little bit about your process in terms of creating your videos. What do you do before to get yourself ready to record?
The process for creating a video, I don't have a specific process really. I suppose in a general sense, I get an idea, as mentioned before, either from comments or something another whisperer or artist does, or just sort of random things about the world, and I kind of roll it around in my head for a while. I've got a notebook, so I jot things down in it, and then when I kind of get a more concrete notion of what it's going to sound like or how it would progress, I decide if I want to script it or just sort of wing it. But truth is, I haven't done that many videos yet, so it's still a learning process at this point. Maybe things go well in the future, you'll have me back and I can have some better insight as to how all this works.
What was the most difficult thing you found in the creation process of your own video work? Was there anything you were unprepared for?
The most difficult thing was getting over initial nervousness, but that happened fairly quickly. The thing that is, I guess, difficult or that I wasn't prepared for is that I really know next to nothing about video. So I'm trying to learn more how to use software, maybe whether I should obtain more. That's that. So, as time goes on, I think I'll be able to produce better things.
So, what are your favorite types of videos you enjoy making?
Favorite to make, why? I don't have a favorite type. as of yet. Um, in some ways, doing The Raven was rewarding, but difficult. I'm not used to reading aloud. But I don't know, somehow I liked doing that one. So I think I have too few under my belt to really have a specific type that I like. As far as anything I wouldn't do, nothing comes to mind. I suppose the closest thing to a I won't do is people have asked for beard care videos or roleplay things centered around the beard. I'm not saying I won't do it, but it's kind of low on the priority, just because it may seem odd, but to me that's like doing a video about brushing your teeth. I don't know. We'll see what the future brings.
Do you have a favorite video you've created so far? Which one is the closest to your heart?
Favorite so far that's close to my heart. I'm gonna have to say lullaby on that one. Just because, well, there's some nostalgic elements with my grandmother, which were kind of cool to bring up. I also like the structure of it, where there's the scripted or memorized bit that's the actual lullaby, and having that interspersed with the sort of memories, narrative kind of bit. I don't know, that one was emotionally a good one for me to do.
No kidding. I would have to say for myself, I think my favorite work of yours would have to be a tie between your show and tell video and, but I think the number one for me would be the lullaby. I absolutely loved how you softly spoke through a lullaby and then combined that with stories about your grandmother and your youth and the experience you had and the way that you told it was with so much compassion. I thought it was fantastic. So I think people would be really curious to know, have you had any bloopers while you were shooting? Have you had any videos you've had to reshoot for mistakes or because something funny happened?
Any bloopers? I have had to reshoot some. Typically, I don't have bloopers because if something goes wrong, I just simply don't save. I don't know, maybe I'll think about keeping them for, a future, maybe make a bloopers reel, as it were. Normally what happens is I just get tongue-tied or my mind goes blank and it kind of stumbles and I'll, kind of mumble some expletive and go, stop, cancel, whatever.
So Bill, do you have any regrets or embarrassing moments? Any videos that you wish would have come out differently?
Regrets? No, not really any regrets. Embarrassing moments. Yeah, actually, well, maybe I'm gonna out myself and have people, find things that they wouldn't have noticed otherwise, but don't read the text of The Raven as you listen to it. I kind of bobble a couple of things, but they weren't so obvious or detrimental to the work as a whole that I decided to kill it. So, yeah,
compare your first few videos to the latest you've created, do you feel a progression in yourself? Do you have more confidence, or have things become easier?
You know, I really only have a few videos, so, but already I think there's a progression. I think I feel a growing confidence, becoming more comfortable with using the camera, and just getting used to doing them. And overall, I think there's kind of a broader progression in myself that's to do with being more involved with the community, rather than just sitting and listening to videos. It's been a change in my perspective, now that I'm actually creating them, which has been nothing but positive. So, and yeah, I think as time goes on, the more videos I make, the easier we'll get, and I think ultimately that will lead to better and more videos.
So, Bill, I'm going to jump back to you as the listener for a moment, because I think your fans would love to know, who are your favorite whisperers or soft-spoken artists? Though I know we all have many people we like, can you talk about your top three? Why would they be your top three? Why do you like them? What do you want those video creators to know about how you feel about them?
So, top three. Wow, you're gonna nail me down to three. You're right, there's so many. But I think three is, I can do three pretty easily off the top of my head. Number one is, without a doubt, Whisper Crystal. She's just phenomenal. I realize that I don't know if it's a hiatus or what, but she's been noticeably absent. And if you're watching, well, we all just wish the best for you, and clearly we would love it if you'd make some more videos. But her stuff is profound for me. I mean, it's up there with powerful pieces of music or poetry. It's just amazing. Number two would be Maria Gentle Whispering. She's just a phenomenal talent. She's has such a range. It's just, yeah, she's just amazing. And her charisma and her empathy that comes across is just very, very cool. And yeah, well, I think it just goes without saying, Maria's just wow. Number three is somebody that I've recently been checking out is Ephemeral Rift. His stuff is very, very cool. I especially like his experimental stuff. I'm bad with titles of videos, but there's one that he does with a keyboard improvisation that's amazing, and another where his faces have black and white and the background is alternating on it. Anyway, that's really, really good stuff. I find it very inspirational, and it kind of has opened my eyes to some more progressive and I'm not sure what the right word is, more artistic that I'd like to try in my own videos. Dude, you're an amazing inspiration, and thank you. Let's see. Well, the three of them, there's an overall quality to the work that they do that's just amazing, and each in their own ways given me just enjoyment, tingles, relaxation, but also inspiration as an artist, and just in my daily life, they've been a good influence. So all three of you, kudos, thank you, just wow, there you go.
I know as a creator myself, I've received private messages from listeners who have shared their feelings. Obviously, you don't need to cite a name, but has anyone shared with you a message that really moved or impacted you? What was that about?
Private messages. I haven't got that many, to be honest. And the few that I have got have been pretty just, good stuff, keep it up, that kind of thing. I did get one. I won't go into the details of it too much, but because if they had wanted it out there, they would have posted more publicly, I think. But they had reached out and expressed concern for me, and I had responded. I was kind of taken aback. I didn't really know how to respond, and I hope my response didn't make them feel like I was being short or blowing them off. I wasn't trying to do that, but sometimes conveying especially emotional content via just simple texts or emails is difficult. But if you are seeing this, I do appreciate that. I believe you were, reaching out in friendship and concern, and that's cool. I mean, kindness should never be rewarded with indifference, so that was okay. The other personal message that really touched me or influenced me was from Weightlifting Whisperer. So I'll take a minute. Hey dude, here's a shout out. It was essentially just sort of kindness, encouragement. He also kind of gave me a nudge in the direction of being a little more involved in the community, which I am trying to do. Anyway, it's a good reaching out, brother. You the man. Thanks. Otherwise, no. I mean, like I said, most of the personal messages have just been, messages of encouragement, really.
Interesting. That's pretty interesting. Bill, what are your favorite? What are your upcoming video projects? Any videos in the future you want to share some sneak peeks?
I don't have anything that I could splice in here as a preview, but if you watch the end of Nonsense, there is a little sort of trailer preview thing I'm planning to do. Actually, I've been working on doing. I'm going to do a whisper reading. So for all of you fans of the Whispers, yes, I'm finally doing another one of the Legend of Sleepy Hollow. Mostly I just have to work out, is it going to be one long video or will I break it up? And the difficult thing has been trying to get a good performance. So I'd like to do it as straight through as possible. I don't really want to break it up and edit it that much, just because I think it'll be a better experience that way. I also have a thing that's on the drawing board that'll be a radio host role play. And
listen to take away from the experience? What do you hope they gain from your videos?
Initial intention was that I would just make calm, relaxing videos. And that's still a pretty underlying desire on my part to make nice, pleasant, messages of kindness and bliss. I have been thinking in terms of trying to dabble in things that are a little more experimental, so I may broaden. But really, the underlying thing is bliss, compassion, kind of trying to give people a space that's just about that, yeah. Relaxation, bliss.
Do you have any message you want to share with your listeners that has not been covered?
Not covered here. I think I haven't really anything that's not been covered. It's just to keep watching my videos, watch other people's videos, and if you are so inclined, break out the camera and the microphone and make your own videos. In my mind, the more the better. It's a groovy place. It's a growing community. I think now is a really good time for us with, the show that you're doing now, the launch of ASMR Island. I think there's just a lot of cool things happening right now, and I think it's exciting to be part of it. So, anyway, thanks again for having me, and bliss to be, everybody.
Well, Bill, I think we're going to close the video today, but I want to thank you very much for the time that you've invested in the responses, and I think you are incredible. I think that you, as I said before, are uniquely talented. There is absolutely nobody else like you out there in terms of the Whisper ASMR community. So congratulations on the videos you've done. And I know that you're going to only gain in popularity from here. So thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for taking the time out to respond to some of the questions, and to a lot of the listeners out there who are big fans of yours. And to the listeners out there, thank you so much for joining us today on Inside ASMR. Again, I hope this is going to be a very long string of videos that are going to be unique, and are going to be very exciting for everybody. And I hope that you all will be looking forward to the future videos. I know that we have some very exciting guests coming up. Some other whisperers have volunteered to be my guinea pigs, and I'm very excited. Whisper Thought, Gay Whisper Guy, and Whisper Deeply, just to name a couple. I'm so excited to start on those. Big fans of all three of those as well. And I want to also convey to the audience, and specifically to other whisperers and soft-spoken artists out there, and video creators, if you are interested in becoming involved with this project and would like to be interviewed and to connect with your audience on a different level, please feel free to contact me. I am going to post my Facebook link in the video description, and you may also, of course, message me here on YouTube. In particular, I really would like to add more female whisperers and soft-spoken artists to the roster in the upcoming projects. I've had a great females, for whatever reason, I have not gotten that type of response from. So, and I would love to interview, those who have audience members who are very passionate about their work. I'm hoping someday I'll be able to get Gentle Whispering. I would love to interview the one Lillian, and obviously Whisper Crystal would be huge, setting myself and my sights pretty high. I would love to interview Whispering in Blue, Pig's Bomb 53. There's so many amazing artists out there, females in particular. I'm calling out to you. Please, I would love for you to volunteer for this project. So, again, all of you, it doesn't matter if you're male or female. If you are interested, and Sleepy English Guy, definitely got to get you too. So, message me on Facebook, connect with me here on YouTube in my inbox. Let me know you're interested, because this is going to be quite a ride. And thank you all for listening tonight. And stay tuned for the next Inside ASMR.